most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Shub, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together, we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today, we're going to talk about trigger finger and trigger thumb. Everything you need to know to fix.
That's right, Bob.
This is very timely, Brad, because I have a friend who just complained about it this weekend. And I was going to say, I'll make a video for you, but I know we have one already. And then you said you do one.
Yeah,
that's great.
And my wife has trigger thumb. I got a little bit of trigger finger left over, and when I was a child, I had congenital trigger thumb.
So you're an expert on the user side.
Say no more, Bob.
All
and
right.
the treatment is coming along very well.
By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. And also, we provide videos on stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and
Yes.
we upload every day. Also, go to bobandbrad.com. Go to the giveaway section. We're always giving something away.
Always.
This week, we're giving away the, what do you always call it?
We call it the Sleepovation mattress.
Yeah.
700 tiny mattresses keep you comfortable, pain-free.
Cornucopia. I was looking
Oh,
at,
the
you know.
cornucopia.
Yeah.
Yes.
So very comfortable mattress. I was just mentioning in another video that my nephew and his wife were fighting over against the sleep on.
Yeah.
At our
Why don't they
cabin.
just sleep together
They
on it?
did.
Oh,
But
good.
he snores.
They
So.
made up anyways.
Yeah.
Well, he probably didn't snore on this mattress. I can tell you that much.
By the way, don't forget about our podcast too.
So we're talking about trigger finger, trigger thumb. We're put them both together because they're very much related, all of their different fingers. So
Same mechanism.
right.
Yeah.
If you have trigger finger, typically it's either your ring finger or your middle finger. Those are the most common
so
ones.
the third or fourth finger.
Third or fourth.
Yeah.
It can be,
One, two,
the
three,
pointer
four.
finger as well, but
Sure.
they're most common. Thumb is obviously the thumb. Now, the thumb is different because these fingers are obviously all flat. They kind of work the same, but the thumb is at a opposing joint, so it's treated
Right.
a little bit different, and it responds and it reacts a little bit
What
different
he's
as well.
saying is that these fingers kind of move in one plane.
There you go.
And this one can move in several planes because it circumducts.
Right, exactly. I do want to talk about congenital trigger thumb briefly. It usually happens.
Born with.
Yeah, happens in the thumb. I had it. I didn't know I had it. My parents didn't, and they didn't care. It's like,
Yeah, right.
well, it really wasn't a problem, but you can't do this without it hurting, and it goes click, click, click. And I remember doing that for I don't know how long when I was a child. It just went away. And the good news is it usually does just go away. It's not a big problem.
Knowing you and your family, I'm surprised they didn't cut it off.
Why, Bob? No, that's a why, Bob. We normally did not go that far.
Normally.
And also, as far as when you get older, it comes with the clicking. This finger.
And the catching.
Yeah, you go so far, and then it'll click, and then you got to go open it up, and then it clicks again.
And it can be very difficult to get it open again.
Yeah, it can actually lock. Go to here, and
Very
it's
painful,
very
too.
painful. When it gets that bad, you got to go and see the doctor and get things taken care of from that.
They'll often do an injection, correct?
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit more, some of that treatment. It is possible, worst case scenario, surgery. It's not a big surgery. They just go in and they cut the sheath,
Sure.
the pulley that we're
Right.
going to talk about in a little
Right.
bit. So it's not a big deal, but
A
oftentimes,
little more room for
yeah,
it.
not necessary in many cases. The majority of cases, surgery
Sure.
isn't necessary. So should we talk about why
Yes.
it clicks here and here? So the thumb, again, is this joint typically. Now, if you look at my hand, I've got an incredible model here. The blue line represents a tendon that goes up into the finger. Now, when you flex any of your fingers, this tendon, the muscle in your forearm contracts, pulling on the tendon, which goes through your carpal tunnel, and you just get flexion. But what happens is that tendon goes through what they call a pulley, okay? And that's a sheath that's, like a ligamentous
Right,
tissue,
right.
very strong. And if everything's working right, it slides through there very
Right,
gently.
no problem.
And same thing with the thumb. Now, when you do this, we have a muscle contracting with the pulley, with the tendon going through, and the pulley is at this joint right here. That's what the red represents, is the pulley. And when the tendon gets a nodule on the tendon, the nodule has to slide through that pulley in either location, and when it starts to get larger, that nodule, it doesn't slide through very easily.
Or inflamed.
Or inflamed, or both. So look at this model. This was kind of
It's a
fun
very
to
good
make.
model.
So we've got, this represents this yellow rope, if you will, gold rope represents
the tendon.
the tendon. Here we got a pulley. I went to the hardware store and picked up a pulley. And when things are going well, the tendon easily goes through the pulley. Life is good.
Yeah.
Then we get a nodule formed. Can you see the blue line, Mike? Now, just a little bit of inflammation in there, a little bit of scar tissue builds up, and it goes through a little bit harder.
Look how it's rough now.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it through it as well.
This is exactly where my fingers right now. I can
Right
feel
now.
it, but it's not a problem.
Is it on only one hand?
Yeah, just on one hand.
And it's
That-
dominant hand.
Yes,
your right hand.
exactly. Now, if that tendon starts to build up, that nodule gets inflamed, like here we got this red represents the inflammation of that nodule, and it's bigger diameter, and it doesn't go through.
No, it's tough to go
Pull,
through.
pull. Oh, and that's what you got to do. Now, what happens is we talked about that surgery. They like cut that pulley,
Right.
and then it slides through easily. But what we
Or
want
they
to
might inject this and calm the inflammation
There
down.
you go.
Right.
So avoiding that, way before that, we're going to give you a few options to do. Now, one thing you want to do is when you get that clicking and it hurts, is don't continue to click
Right.
it. It just irritates
test it.
Yeah, you don't think you're going to click, click,
Right.
click and wear it
It's gonna
out.
smooth it out.
Yeah, it's going to irritate it, make inflammation worse, and then you have more
then you
pain.
Won't be able to do it at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So when it gets to the point where it's inflamed, either the thumb or the finger, you can put a cold pack on there to help reduce inflammation. Do some NSAIDs, ibuprofen as tolerated, as long as it doesn't match with your other medications.
Right,
if
right.
you're on other medications. So get it to settle down. Avoid using it. Now the thumb, they make some little splints that work. There's a figure 8 splint that works on there, or you can put a thumb, anything that prevents your
They
thumb
actually
from
have a
moving.
splint for this too.
They do, and I never had the need for it. I could
Right.
just avoid it because I got
Right.
the other fingers that compensated.
They're not good for real life.
Yeah,
trying to work
right.
with them.
But one thing I found that worked, because my wife has the thumb one now, and she'd go out and either at work trying to type, or outside working in the flower garden, or when she goes to her exercise class, irritates it. She needed a brace. So I said, let's get some kinesio tape. Show me your thumb, Bob. So there we go. Now the advantage
Now
of
we're
this.
trying to help me not bend as much
Yes,
this way.
it's just going to support it. So I just cut this in about 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch wide. I'm going to go from here and do a figure 8. And now this roll, I got a roll of kinesio tape, which I could tape this thumb about 20 times with. Cost me about the same as a thumb brace. And the nice thing about the kinesio tape is you can use it for any part of your body if you
I
like
think
to
it's
do
more
it.
comfortable too.
It
by
is.
far.
It allows motion, but
Yeah.
it just restricts it
So I
enough.
still can bend, but I can, it's restricting it somewhat.
Right. So it allows some function. If you put a brace on there and leave it on all day long, it's going to actually make it tight, make the
Right.
tissues tighten up, and then you have to do the range of motion to loosen it up.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think this is a step in the right direction.
Right.
But you could still use a brace or the figure 8 brace if you'd like. The next thing is
Cross fiber.
I'm going to go to the range of motion
Oh,
first.
sure.
Because you do want to range of motion the finger. You're just going to gently, so you try and relax the hand, completely relax. Use the other hand and work the finger, whichever one it is, extend it back, go all the way forward and flex it.
Now the work is coming from this hand.
Right, that's a
this
good
one
point.
is being relaxed.
Yeah. The thumb as well,
Yeah.
go forward with it, flex the distal or the farthest out joint, and then come back. You can do this stretch, put your palm up, reach underneath, and gently stretch it here. Is a really nice stretch to get that direction. And you're going to do that a minute or so, 3 times a day, just to keep it so it's doesn't tighten up on you. Now the next thing, talk about the cross
I
friction.
would say this is probably the most critical thing to do. Right?
This is what worked for me.
Yeah.
So you want to demonstrate or you want me to?
No, go ahead, Brad.
Okay, so this is, you take the thumb, this hand, put the hand back here. You can see here's my pulley that's tight. And I'm going to put my thumb right over there. And you'll feel when you start pushing around, you got to get deep. You're not going superficial. You're going to see I'm going to actually rub off the ink on here, the whatever this marker is. And I'm going to push, and I'll go up and down, cross. Now we say cross fiber, but I found that I went pretty much any direction, and I would just rub on it for about 30 seconds. And then I could flex it, and
So
there would be
you're trying to make
less
that
trigger.
tendon smoother and try to take the lump out of it, basically.
Yeah, I don't know if it's doing that or if it's making the pulley relax.
Oh, sure.
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't care.
You're right on
I
the
know
base
it worked.
of the finger.
Yep,
Right
right.
where the pulley is.
Yep, exactly. And then if you're doing your thumb, you have to do the same thing. Now the thumb, you're going straight onto the finger, but the thumb you have to kind of come at an oblique angle. So you're going to come in. It's a little bit harder to get at, but you can get at it, and you'll feel it. It's going to be a little tender.
Right. Find the tender spot.
Yep. And then when you find it, you're going to work on it for a minute or two. Don't get real aggressive. If it's tender, just be gentle with it and get more aggressive as it
Possibly
feels
could
better.
use your fingertips too.
Sure.
Right?
Yep. Exactly. Yep. Now, the other thing I found that worked really well is, and actually after I start doing this, it works well. I stopped doing the cross friction massage, is I just put pressure on the pulley.
Right.
And when I had pressure on it,
Yes.
I could do this
Yes.
without any pain, any clunking. So I would just do that for 10
I
to
believe
15.
that's the McKenzie method.
Yep.
That's what they recommend.
Robin McKenzie,
a physical therapist.
Yep, he's passed away now, but his treatments live on. And you can do the same with your thumb. And as long as it shows benefits.
Yep. Pretty good continuous pressure you put on
Yep.
there. And
Exactly, Bob. So work with those, and I have a feeling you'll have success. The majority of people will have success in a matter of days. Anything else, Bob, about these?
no, I think you could possibly, if you want to cool it down, also just put it in cool water.
Sure.
Right, and work your hand.
Yep.
While it's in there, if you're able to move it without pain.
Right. Yeah.
No.
Cool water, ice cubes in the water.
Right.
Is a good direct way to get after it.
So-
So very good.
Try one of those things should work for you.
Yep. Once again, Bob, we can fix just about anything except for
a broken heart.
That's right, Bob. But we continue to work with it. The trigger finger, the thumb thing has got no relationship.
I just hope nobody's waiting around for us to come up with an answer.
Bob, it's all going to come at once. It's going to be like a revelation. Adios.